Hi there, it's Janice Thomson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in central Scotland. And today I am filming the first card for November 2025 class in the post, or in person in fact. So this is based on the Peaceful Garden suite. And the first card is our fun fold, and it's a Trifold shutter card. So it's got quite a lot of aspects to it. It's an easy card, but it takes a wee while to sort it out. So this is the final card, and it folds up to fit into a 5x7 size envelope. I don't know what that is in centimetres, even though I'm making this card in centimetres. So yeah, so the envelope must be at least 13, so it's probably about 13.5 centimetres by 17, somewhere about that is the envelope. But anywho, that and in your kit you will get the correct size of envelope. So yeah, here we go. So what I've done is I've cut the card to the required size, which is, you can see here, I've drawn a diagram of what we're going to do. So it's 26 centimetres by 16.5 centimetres, and you'll see, because I cut this out from my grid paper, I know it is exactly the size. And there is a photograph of this diagram in the PDF for the class. If you're quick, you may be able to take a screenshot of this, and it does give you. So the solid lines are cut lines, and the dotted lines, the dotted green ones, are scoring lines. So we'll just work through that. So first of all, I need to do the two cut lines. So the width, well, the height here is 3.5 centimetres. I don't know if I've written it all down. Let's see. Yeah, so that's 3.5 centimetres from there to there. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimetres from there to there, and it's the same here. So that's 5 centimetres that way, and 3.5 centimetres that way. So this cut line needs to go from 5 centimetres to 21 centimetres, but 3.5 centimetres in. So let's get the trimmer and see how we do that. And for I never usually use my trimmer this way, but I think this will make it easier. So we've got 3.5 centimetres out there. So if I take this and lay that at 3.5 centimetres, and using this to make sure we're at a right angle, I can bring this down. I want to take my scorer away because we don't want to use the scorer, but carefully lift the cutter. I'm going to stand up so I can see, and you may have to do that too. So I have lifted the cutter to the 5 centimetres there, and I'm going to take it down to 21. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is turn it around 180 degrees and put that now at the 3.5 centimetres. Close that over. Now that's sitting at the 21. So if I take that back to 5, I then have my cut lines that I require. Then I'm going to take my cutting blade and I'm going to take my trim around this because it works better for me that way. So what we'll do first is the scores that are between the cut lines. So we've got 5 centimetres, 8.5 centimetres, 18 centimetres and 21 centimetres, which means I do need the arm out. I'm sorry there's a glare, but it's just the way my lighting is. So pop that where I can see it. I'll bring it back in and show you what we've achieved. Right, so the first score is at 5 centimetres. Of course it's hard to, because there's other things on my desk. So make sure it's nice and straight at 5 centimetres, and I'm going to score between the cut lines. So again, 3.5 centimetres down to 13 here. And that's that first score line in, and then the next one is at 8.5. And because I kept that at 13, I can pop that back up to 3.5. And then 18. So bring this over. I'm taking it to the 18. I don't know how much of this my camera can see. And exactly the same again from 3.5 down to 13. And if you look at your score blade, you'll see there are lines either side, so you can line it up with the cut line. And then the last score line in this part is, whoops, at 21. I am following the chart, so you could print that chart and out so that you can follow it. So from 13 up to 3.5 centimetres. And you'll see that you've got 4 score lines there. Now, we need to do 2 more kind of scores. So this time we're at 13 centimetres, and this time we're doing it top and bottom of the score line. So down to the 3.5, lift it, bring it down to this cut line, and there. That's that one. You see down there, and then the same at 18.5. So again, up to the cut line this time, lift it up, take it up to the cut line and up to the edge of the card. And that just doesn't look quite right, but have I done something wrong here? I might have put a score in the wrong place. Yes, 19.5. I can't read my own writing. That's okay, we'll compensate for that. Just didn't look right. So with the top to the cut line, lift it and bring it down to the cut line. So you may want to practice this on some scrap card first. Now let's just put that trimmer away, because it doesn't have cause take up the desk, does it? Right, so what I want to do is kind of take my bone folder. Where is it? This desk is a nightmare, it swallows everything. Here it is, it just slipped. Right, so I've turned this over, and it's this score line here that's in the wrong place. So I'm just rubbing over it from the back. I won't take it away completely, but because we're going to stick paper and card over it, it's not the end of the world. Right, So I don't know how well you can see this, but I now have my score lines, and if you see, they line up perfectly. So I can put this away now. Well, not away, but over to the side. Now it's about manipulating the paper to do what you need it to do now. So what I want to do is tell this that it's a mountain fold here, and then that one is a valley. Now just gently, you're not forcing anything at the moment, and then that one will be a mountain fold there and a valley fold there. So that's going to, this one goes that way, so you can, you're sort of, let me just make sure, no, I'm lying. This one comes out that way. So we're easing that, and then on this, so these ones are valley. So of these two folds, that one's mountain and that one's valley. And then we just need to keep teasing these ones until they go where we want them to go. You just gently, until you're confident that it's lined up and where you want it, and then you can reinforce those score lines to make your card do what you need it to do. Let's have a look now. So there we have a card that looks like it's going to do what that card does. So success on this. That's the shape, so it's going to fold closed like that. So we can put the sample card to the side and just again get your score lines and give them a good old burnish. Now, you then have all the measurements for your contrast card, which we've used Night of Navy here. All those pieces, so you've 5, 6, 7, 11 pieces of Night of Navy card. You can get them all out of one sheet of card. And then you've got designer series paper. Again, you've got 8 pieces there. And then 2 pieces of glimmer paper, so that's 10, and then 1 piece of basic white, so that's 11, which then they will stick on to these. So keeping, when you look at it, the narrow strip is at the right hand side of the card, and this wider one is here at the front, just in case you get confused if you move it. So I'll let you take a screenshot if you didn't buy the class, you won't have the PDF. So if you're watching in the future, I'm letting you take these measurements. So once you have cut all your pieces, you will see, let's see, that's the square, and that Night of Navy, that's going to layer onto that Night of Navy square, and that's your main focal point of your card that's going to go in there. But we'll keep that to the side so that we can stamp on that, and we'll assemble that at the end. But what we can do now is match up our DSP with the layers. I want that one around that way. So I've used the different patterns on this one to what I used in my sample cards when I designed it. The problem for me is I kind of just design on the hoof And then, of course, when I come back and decide that make a nice class, I don't always have all the measurements, or I'm not one of these people who can design and record measurements at the same time. So you're now going to adhere all the designer series paper to the Night of Navy. So just when you're cutting your designer series paper, I think, I'm not sure that I've explained this before, but when I give you the measurements for your designer series paper, especially if you're using paper that has a direction, the first measurement is the height, and then the second one is the width. Like I say, that one is 15.5 by 4 centimetres, that paper. So that is the direction that I want the pattern to be. And this one that's going at the other side, the height is more than the width, and that's because you want to, you know, keep your direction of paper. Now you'll see that the two glimmer panels are different widths, so let's see if we can find, whoops, so this one goes on here, come on glue, see me through. It doesn't take too long to put these together if you've cut everything, but do be mindful of the direction of your paper when you're and looking at your card when you're cutting your paper. This is why I prefer you not to cut too much before class, so that we can discuss that sort of thing in class. Now, what we got here? So we've got these two pieces here that are also going on the front of the card. They're the same size and they go on there. So there's two of these of this length. And then this one. And you'll see we've got a border around. And then 4 of these. They're all exactly the same size. So do you have to decide which side of the paper you're... Come on, glue. See us through. Right, and then we'll pop these on. I hope I've got it right, and I haven't. Something is wrong. I think I've cut this wrong. So that is 6 centimetres wide. Yeah, 4 of these. So I have cut these. These should be 5.5. And for some reason, I've cut them at 7. Oh, it's not very bright, is it? So can we redeem ourselves, or shall I just cut some more? Because I've got glue on these, yeah, I see, yeah, that's too long. Let's see if I can do this. So it should be 5.5. See, even the designer of the card can get it wrong. this will just end up with a sticky mess, but hey. One. I wonder if I just put that straight on there while I'm just make sure it is going to be right. Yep. One. I have to give my trimmer a wee wash after this. So that's what I get for trying to fire ahead. I think sometimes with these cards you just need to slow down a bit, not try to rush, and just think, I need to be a bit more thoughtful. I could have chucked these and just cut more because there's plenty of paper. But last one. Look at this. Ooh. Those ones in the bin before they stick on something. Right, trimmer away again. Hopefully that's the last time I need the trimmer. Okay, so now we stick these onto the card. It really, once you've got this bit done, the hard work's done. Shall we do this? Right, we've stuck all them together. Let's stamp, because that's the best bit, isn't it? Right, so I've got Night of Navy ink, this card. And really, I'll just do something similar to what I did. So it's using the stamps that we've got. And I put Peace on Earth in the middle. And I just use this foliage stamp. But in this Peaceful Day stamp set, there's the pretty flowers. There's this. Why don't I do that this time? I don't like doing the same thing twice. So let's see what happens if we use this one and maybe a flower. Of course, if I've got the right size of block out. But do you know, I don't do with two cards exactly the same. I have to have some kind of deviance. Am I deviant in my card making? Look at that though. Look how pretty is that stamp. Honestly, I would buy a whole stamp set just for that stamp. I think that is beautiful. And we'll stop there, shall we? And we'll close the ink. So this is not like what you'd call a quick card. It's not complicated once you've got the swing of it. But it's really good for a special card. Would be great. It's a great fold for a birthday card. Again, one of these cards where you could even make the focal point a photograph. Right, so now, I hope this glue's gonna, let's just put this straight on the card. You can flatten it out again if you want to. And it really is just decorate your card now. So I've got this strip here. Again, leaving a border around, whoops. And then we've got these two pieces for the front. Oops, kind of line it up a wee bit. Try and make sure it's straight. Remember, this one is wider, this panel here is wider than that panel. And just use your lines of your cardstock to help it all look straight. So we'll pop this one down. It's good to put in the ones that are single size, so you know. But you will see where things go. Oops, let's see. This says it's just stick down all the panels. I hope your glue plays up better than mine. Come on, we've only got 3 panels or so left to do. Come on, you can do this, so you can. Sorry, I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating. And one more panel. I'm like holding my breath to see if this glue will make it to the last panel. Please, come on, enough just to stick it down. There isn't a lot left in this bottle, but I want to get all of it. Again, just trying to get a bit of a line going there so you don't upset your eye when you're looking at your card. And then just a bit of decoration. Now, I decorated this with 2 birds and some glimmer paper foliage. You may have to find one of your own foliage dies and cut out with the glimmer paper that's in the class pack. And where have I put mine? Yeah, I have them here. I haven't got any foliage cut out, but I've got 2 birds. And this one, we'll use these two. I've given you different colours of the die cuts, but obviously if you've got the dies or similar dies, you can cut out what you want. So again, I'll put these on with dimensionals, which I did there too. Just need one here and pop that. Now, when you're putting something like this on, you need to remind yourself about, you know, how your card is going to fold, and you know that what you're adding isn't going to interfere with the folding. And that one, and then we'll have now these birds are so lovely, and you can fluff the feathers up a bit, look. Just add a bit more texture. Now in the class in the pack you do have a bonus card pack, and there is a video for that as well, which I will have added to the PDF. Sometimes you get a wee extra surprise in your class pack. So yeah, there we go. So, and flowers, of course we need some flowers, so we can add, oops, so I say I don't think this one needs the foliage because it's got the flowers. I did add it on that one, but you know, if whatever dies you've got with some foliage, if you want to add some more decoration on your card, then that's cool, that's fine. You can add you know, you can add more flowers if you want. I don't know if I want to add maybe just some little one in the middle of these. You just decorate as little or as much as you want, and then there you have a Trifold shutter card. It's a bit, so as I say, that you use whichever bits of designer series paper you want. It's actually a good way to use up small pieces of designer series paper that you might have left from other projects. So the mystery has now been taken out of Trifold shutter card. Obviously you can write on the back. You can add extra card if you want to, but you can do your writing on the back. So thank you so much. Yeah, the other two cards are recorded, so go ahead and check them out before you start making your cards. And thank you so much everyone who supports me by buying classes or supporting my channel. I really appreciate you all. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Please press the bell icon to get notified when I'm coming on again. And some thumbs ups and comments help my channel to be noticed by new people. Thank you so much. Bye.